These are the letters that I write for myself. They're the museum of my memories from age 9 to 22. The coolest part is these aren't just journals, they're these letters to myself and a reminder of who I was when I wrote them and who at the time, who I believed and dreamed I'd be right now. So I started journaling when I was 9 years old because I actually couldn't read until I was 9 years old. And I remember the first book I officially read fully was this diary style book that was written in the perspective of a girl a little bit older than me, and it wasn't typed up, it was like handwritten prints was how the book was made. And I could see the messiness and where they'd misspelled words and cross them out and try to respell them again, and that kind of raw, unfiltered style. I'd been struggling a lot to learn to read and to write and with spelling, and at the time I was like, oh, I can start, because I always wanted to, write and create these journals, write my own stories, and I felt held back because I couldn't spell and I couldn't read. And through seeing that in a book form, I realized, oh, I can get started now. It can be messy. And essentially that was actually how I learnt to write. So the first journal I got was this shitty notebook from the store, and I started journaling and haven't stopped. The more I wrote in my journals, the more creative I became. I realized that there's so much happening up in our minds with everyday things that when you get these ideas and these creative inspirations, sometimes you don't have the time to make them real, but if you put them down somewhere, you're able to return to them, and also more ideas flow to you. Well, they flowed to me the more I'm in that process of writing and creating. The other thing that is really interesting, especially when I was younger, because I started journaling around that fun age of puberty, but through journaling I was able to create a conversation with myself and observe my own feelings, and I had a space to express those feelings, whether I was madly happy or absolutely devastated. It became this place to regulate my emotions and my feelings, and I was also able to take a step back and see my emotions on paper as ink on paper and observe it from an outside perspective, because so often we are in our own heads and weighed down by our emotions. So having an outlet to be able to physically see them is a really powerful tool of getting to know yourself and being in charge of those emotions as well and not letting them overcome you. My journals have also been a marvelous place to learn how to manifest, and there's so many ways that through journaling you're able to figure out, first of all, what it is that you want and create a space to write those things down, to materialize them into the physical realm through writing them on paper. And that's what's really, it's wild looking back at my journals and the things that I wished for myself and the things that I wrote to make happen in my future. And looking back now, how many of those things have actually become real for me is wild. And it's a really great way to see how much I've changed and grown as well from that person. Bye, Ash. Journaling can help you with finding your personality again. Nowadays, with so much information and being inundated with other people's ideas, other people's lives, that rubs off our own personalities. So if you've been feeling like you don't know yourself anymore, you don't know what you feel, what you like, who you want to be, it may be because you're consuming too much of other people's ideas. And the best way to combat this is to start this dialogue with yourself through a journal. Make it something that you love to do. Journaling doesn't have to be a certain way, like Dear Diary. You don't even have to write words. You can try junk journaling, throw structure out the window, and just see what you can create. And if you need extra motivation, don't think of a journal entry as this one momentary thing that you're doing. It's not just one page, it's actually this snapshot into who you are right now in this moment. And it's going to act as a window to reflect on that and observe how you've grown and changed throughout your life. It's like doing a study on yourself while also learning and enjoying how you want to express your feelings, your ideas, and the moment of your day. If you're still unsure on how to start, don't worry. I have left some journal prompts in the captions below. Go explore your inner world and see what emerges. Here is something that I wrote on May 2022. Writing to me is more than a mere record or an art form. Writing is the unraveling of my soul, a rare opportunity to see my mind and heart on paper. When I write, my hand is singing, each messy misspelt scroll a beautiful note, the imperfections a testimony of my passion, a passion that strives for aliveness over neatness. Stories are more than characters, plots and verbs. They are lessons orchestrated for the reader to find their own truth between the lines. A writer merely desires to understand the world. What a great, courageous adventure. Thanks for watching. I'm excited to see what you're gonna write.